When something is lost, with no hope of ever finding it again, some say it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Well, our next story does the haystack concept one better, or possibly one worse. You'll understand what I mean when you discover where this impossible, hopeless search took place. Saturday, December 18th, 1999, was the beginning of a perfect winter weekend for most of the residents of Canmore, Canada. But for Dr. Karen Jensen, Saturday would be spent catching up with her personal life after 10 long, hard days on the road.
I had been going through a lot in my life. Nothing in that year remained the same, including my marriage and my work situation, and now I was selling my home. I'd been opening my mail for an hour or two, and I was getting kind of bored with it, and it was a gorgeous day. And so I thought, I'm just going to take some time out and go for a hike.
Before leaving, Karen removed a very precious piece of jewelry.
I have 3 sons, and this ring had 3 diamonds. And the bigger one in the middle represented my eldest, and the 2 on either side represented my twins. I was really protective of my ring, and I didn't want to have it scuffed up or anything if I fell. And so I just put it on the table, along with everything else.
Karen headed outside to escape her mountain of mail, but by the time she returned, one more piece of business had been added to the pile.
Hi, Karen, this is Denise.
When I came back from the hike, there was a message on my machine from Denise, my realtor, saying there was a showing on the house the next day.
Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.
So I proceeded to vacuum the house, clean down the kitchen counters, clean up all the papers that were on the table, and dumped out all the envelopes. As I was taking out the garbage, I put the garbage bag down to put my jacket on, and I just had this nudge that maybe I shouldn't tie the bag in a knot. There was a wide white twist tie on top of the garbage, and I just had this feeling that I should use it. So I undid the knot and put the wide white twist tie on my bag and took it out.
Karen spent the rest of the day working at home, and by the time she went to bed, she was exhausted but unable to sleep.
I was actually woken up by this voice, if you will, that said, "Look for your ring." And I thought, oh yeah, my ring.
When she got up the next morning, Karen began searching for the ring, but it was nowhere to be found.
And it didn't take me long to realize what had happened. I went running out to the dumpster. And when I opened the dumpster, it was empty. It was Sunday. Who dumps garbage on Sunday? And my heart just fell. Oh my God. How could I have thrown this ring out? And how do I go about finding this ring?
But after some thought, she decided to track down the trash site where her garbage had been taken. Her search led her to Canmore waste contractor Ken Podmoroff.
Hello. I get a phone call on a Sunday evening that a lady had thrown out a very expensive diamond ring.
And I was just wondering if there's any suggestions you might have to help me find my bag of garbage.
Well, it's already been pushed into the trailer. So I told her that it had already been dumped in a transfer station and pushed in this huge trailer that's 50 feet long and 8 feet wide and 9 feet high and holds 25 tons of garbage, and I was going to take it to Calgary the next morning.
Might be difficult to find it.
I didn't think we could find it.
Well, I'm willing to try.
But she was pretty adamant on going to find this ring.
Well, if you want to show up here tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we can sure start digging for it.
I was thinking this is going to take a lot to go through 25 tons of garbage, but if she has enough courage to do it, then we'll start digging for it, and hopefully we can find it.
Good night, Ken. Thanks again. So I thought, okay, well, I've got my first date all year with Ken at the garbage dump. Hello?
Later that evening, Karen received another call from her real estate agent, Denise Thompson.
When Karen told me that she was going at 6 in the morning to get in this semi of garbage,
Oh, dear.
I immediately thought, she can't do this by herself. I mean, somebody has to go with her.
Denise, you didn't hear me. And I said, Denise, this is not something you want to do.
She said, are you crazy? I said, maybe, but I'm going, and I'll pick you up at 6 in the morning.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Denise. Good night.
The odds of finding a diamond ring in 25 tons of garbage are slim and none. I didn't say that to Karen. I just was going for moral support.
That night, Karen Jensen had a very strange dream.
The dream said that your bag is in the first section of the truck, on the left-hand side, midway down, 2.5 feet under. And I went, oh, okay, this I will not forget. So I got up in the morning and remembered my dream map.
Morning, Denise.
An hour later, Denise arrived at Karen's home on schedule.
Just fine, and you?
So I'm really excited about this new information that I received through my dream. And I tell Denise.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it.
Midway.
Pretty neat, eh?
Let's hope.
At this point, I think I was thinking, now, we're driving to the transfer station. What is this really going to be like? Getting in a semi of garbage.
As far as I could see, one way or the other, it was garbage. I'm gonna need a pair of gloves.
I'll get you a coat too.
Thanks, Ken. I couldn't even think about what this was gonna be like, smell like.
I thought about critters. If I see a critter, I might be out of there. That might be the end of her support. I'll stand and watch.
And I jumped in the truck right where my dream map told me my bag would be.
Stinky, eh?
Oh, man. Gross. And we started throwing bag after bag of garbage.
How are you doing?
Oh, just ducky.
Oh, my God.
Because of the compaction process, the bags had holes in them. And so as you'd lift the bag, things would drop out.
Diapers, kitty litter. I guess those are the two that really stand out in my mind, other than food.
Oh, man.
Heavy one?
Stinky.
I had one focus, and one focus only, and that was to find my garbage bag that contained my ring.
The threesome held their breath and continued searching for the black bag with the white twist tie. And then suddenly, Karen found it, exactly where she'd seen it in her dream.
Oh, I think I found it.
Sure.
Oh.
Find it?
Oh.
But there was a problem that her dream hadn't foretold.
The holes, I think so.
My heart fell when I saw the bag because there was holes all through it.
There are so many holes in here.
And so I went through the bag and there was no ring. And I thought, oh, well, you know, I mean, we sure tried.
It's not here.
And then Ken said no.
It's got to be in there. You got to keep digging. You just have to keep digging.
So I thought, okay. So I went through it slowly this time, paper by paper. Oh, here's a bag. And in the bottom of my big black garbage bag was a little white bag, which was from my Friday night's dinner. And I had had salmon. And I thought, oh, like you smell of fish? I mean, oh, please. And so it was like I opened the styrofoam container, and there, nestled amongst the fish skin, was my ring.
Oh my gosh, I found my ring!
And I think Denise and Ken were just kind of in disbelief. I don't think they really believed that I was going to find this ring.
All I could think was, oh good, I can get out of here now. And I jumped out quick. I was real happy to be out of the garbage.
And I said, can I take a look at it? And she showed me, and it's got one big diamond with two small diamonds on the sides. And I thought, oh, no wonder you're so concerned about finding this ring. It meant a lot to her.
Even today, Karen can't believe the circumstances surrounding this miraculous incident. Not only in finding the ring, but in finding two people who gave their all to help her out.
I've got a philosophy that don't say no to anybody. Help them out any way you can. It's nice to help people out. And anything for a lady.
It was meant to be that Karen have that ring. That's the only explanation I could come up with. Because it doesn't make sense that you would find a ring in 25 tons of garbage.
When I look back on it, I realized that the story's an analogy of what was going on in my own life. I'd been going through a lot of difficult times. But I realized you have to go through the difficult times to get to the true riches of life. Finding the ring represented the riches that these difficult experiences can teach us. And these jewels come through going through the tons of garbage in our life.
Given the choice, I think I'd rather look for a needle in a haystack than a ring in a trailer of trash, but that's just me. And our three intrepid waste managers have cleaned themselves up, and they join us now from Canmore, Canada. Hello there.
Good evening, Richard.
Good evening, Richard.
Ken, let's start with you. How often have you had to climb down in the muck to retrieve a lost object?
Oh, I think 4 times in the last 5 years.
4 times, huh? And what did you find?
A retainer, some silverware, but nothing this valuable.
Denise, this was your first journey into the wonderful world of refuse. How happy are you that this took place in the winter rather than in the summer?
Very. I think it would be a little smelly in the summer, a little smellier, I should say, because it still smelled.
Yes, I could almost smell the salmon from here. And Karen, how surprised were you that 2 relative strangers would be willing to do this for you?
I was amazed, actually. Denise, without hesitation, not even a time to think about it, really. It was just an instant response to what was happening to me. And Ken, even though he might have thought it was a 1 in a million chances, just never really discouraged me. He did whatever he could do, and then some, really, to help facilitate the whole process. I was truly amazed that there was such a response from people that I didn't even know.
Do you still take your ring off when you go hiking?
Not a chance.
Well, it's a story with a lovely ending, and I want to thank you for sharing it with us.